Hi there folks, this is a 5-minute revision video for the theme of stakeholders within our business management course. This is a very important revision topic for all National 5, intermediate and higher candidates. When you come to revising the topic for stakeholders, it's really important that you ask yourself a question. That question is, what actually is a stakeholder? And it's really important that you fully understand before you enter any exam hall or go to do any assessment that a stakeholder is any individual person or any group or organisation who's interested in a business being successful. It's also a key skill to be able to divide all of our stakeholders into two different groups. First of all, we have our internal stakeholders. Now, using your literacy skills, you can work out the word internal means inside. So these are all of the people who are inside of the business who want it to be successful. On the other hand, we have our external stakeholders. These are all of the people and organisations outside of the business who still have an interest in making sure the business thrives and is successful in its future. If you begin to paint a picture of the inside of an organisation, say a meeting between stakeholders, you can quickly build a picture of all of the employees of an organisation, all of the managers of an organisation, and of course our owners of an organisation, which would also be our shareholders if we are discussing a private or public limited company. These are our internal stakeholders. We can then begin to consider all of the groups we've not yet mentioned, all of the people outside of the organisation. Our banks, the government, all of our suppliers who provide our materials and resources. We can also think of our trade unions, who help to negotiate between managers and employees, and of course, very importantly, our customers, who on a daily basis interact with the business. As a business manager, you have to be able to balance two very important things with our stakeholders. You have to balance all of their interests and their influences. Now, the interests are what customers or what other stakeholders expect from the business. What do they want? And then we consider our influences. What do they do to affect the business? What do they do when they are unhappy? If we begin by considering the interests of all of our different stakeholders, some good examples: employees, they are interested in getting a fair wage, a good wage for the work that they do. Banks, very interested in ensuring that all of our loans are paid back on time if we're a business owner. And we then of course have our customers. Customers are interested in getting a good quality product or service. And of course they want that for the cheapest price, as you and I would also want. What becomes trickier is to think about the influences. What do these groups of people do to show us that they might be unhappy? I want you to take a little bit of independence in your revision here. Have a think about 3 different groups of stakeholders. I want you to think in particular, what would an unhappy customer do to affect the business? What would the bank do if a business was not paying a loan back on time? And then on a daily basis, what do managers do to affect the business? I want you to spend some time just now, perhaps pause the clip if you want, and think for yourself independently here. What do those groups do? Okay, by now, hopefully you've either paused the clip or some of your topics from class came back to you quite quickly. What you must remember Customers will influence a business in many different ways. They could perhaps choose to go to a rival. Banks could influence a business by refusing a new loan, refusing a new overdraft, a new mortgage. Managers make different decisions all day long, good decisions and poor decisions.